Good morning, nation. Ready for another episode. Let's get it popping. Here we go, yo. Appreciate you, my God. Cheeto Linus. Appreciate you, God. Chris, protect the shield. Good morning, brother. How you doing? Oh, God. Hey, what up, low? What is good? What is good? None other than our God. Yo,
what is going on, man? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
What's the deal, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Raiders. We are your hosts. I'm Jay Raider with my guy, the Raider Rundown, back in full effect. The dynamic duo.
As we always are, man. As we always are, bringing y'all fire guests every week, week in and week out. This week, we got another fire guest, man. So make sure you guys are tapping on the like button. If you're feeling what you're hearing and you like what you're hearing, tap on the subscribe button as well, man, so you don't miss none of this content from the guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Most definitely. And really quick, salute to everyone already here, all of our peoples in the building. Appreciate you guys pulling up on this beautiful Saturday morning, wherever you're at. Hopefully it is beautiful. I know it's already getting warmed up here in good old Southwest. I know back in Cali, it's pretty hot over there too.
It's already hot, bro. It's already there. So yeah, we were there.
And I know in Vegas with where our next guest is at, I know it's getting dialed up too. So, man, really hot summer days coming ahead. But again, we got a fire show for you guys today. We're a lot to talk about. We're gonna go ahead and literally talk about this whole off season. OTAs are done, and we're getting ready for mini camp next week. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off without further ado. Let me go ahead and bring out our next guest. You know this man. He is a super fan. You've probably seen him at Raider games. Most notably, you probably seen him. I think he was part of the commercial, the Ticketmaster commercial that he was on with JPJ. You probably also know him from his Instagram as well. So let me go ahead and bring out our guest, none other than Power Raider. What it do, brother?
Thanks for what's up, brother, man. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you guys for allowing me to be on your show. And good morning to all your audience, man. Thank you guys for that like, follows, and shares. Definitely, we love what you guys bring to Raider Nation. You know, especially during off season. You know, something we're always looking for to entertain our minds. And when it comes to football and everything, you know, because of you guys, it's that glue that sticks the whole nation together. All this information, that knowledge, and just keeping everybody up to date. I appreciate
Man,
what
we
you guys do.
appreciate you for tapping in, man. We appreciate you for everything you doing, man. You busy off season for you though, man. You everywhere. You with JPJ, man. You doing everything with the team, bro. You in Bakersfield, so hey, you doing your thing too, man.
Yeah, no, that was an amazing experience. My premium sales manager. I own 3 seats at Allegiant Stadium, and he knows how active I am. And I've lived here in Las Vegas. It literally was within 48 hours. He goes, "Hey, I got something for you." He's all like, "It's a tour. Have you ever done the tour for the Raiders Allegiant Stadium?" And I'm like, "To be honest, I've never done the tour because I always been at the stadium every game." But everybody tells me, do the tour. And I'm like, fine, I'll do the tour, but if I do the tour, I'm going to be all suited up. He goes, I don't care. Be suited up if you want to, It's and the way they explain it to me, they say, we're just doing a commercial for the tour. So if you want to be suited up, go for it and be suited up. We're just doing a commercial because we want to drive our sales for the tours higher. I'm like, all right, cool. And so I go suit up and everything. And the next thing you know, they're telling us about this tour guide that's going to show us. And I'm like, dude. And then I took my friends there. I had John Baker, I had Josh there, Go 209. You guys all know him, and it was an incredible experience. Definitely, I love my team, the people that are all around me. We were actually called the Raiderverse. I don't know if you ever heard it, but it's a bunch of us. Kind of like the Marvel universe, but it's the Raiderverse. And those that are active at the games, and we do live streaming, podcasts. They're more into the technical stuff. I'm more of like the biggest cheerleader and just do more of the face-to-face interactions and being out there in the field and show my spirit the way I can.
Fact, man. That's fire, bro. That's fire how that came together, dog, for real.
Yeah, it was crazy how JPJ just took off his mask and everything. Like, what in the world?
So did you not know? You had no idea? You didn't know that was him?
You know what? Towards the beginning of the tour, something was off, and I'm like, this guy, like, he was our tour guide, and he was making silly jokes here and there, but he had what gave it off was Josh. Josh told me, look at his shoes. It's his first time working as a tour guide. He had like some Travis Parker or some shoes that were like $13,000 or $14,000 shoes on. I'm like,
the shoes gave it away, bro. The gear gave it away, bro.
Yeah, but it was cool. Overall, he was a really cool guy. We got to play cornhole with him. We got to play a lot of things with him and just interact with him one-on-one. It's a great person. They gave us drinks, so that's a great part too.
Nice.
They got it in,
yeah. For sure.
He said cactus wax shoes. Hey, you say what you want, we the people, but them things is damn near $1,400, bro. You say what you want. them shoes is expensive. I'll say you that.
Yeah, man. I was born and raised with Payless and Ross and everything, dude. I don't really care about shoes. I got a lot of friends who have shoe collections, like from the floor to the ceiling, and they are expensive shoes. I don't really care about shoes. Like if you see my shoes,
me either, bro. Me either. Like
me neither,
I go to the Nike store. I'm straight to the sale section, the sale wall back there. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not looking at none of that extra shit. There's no $250, $300, bro. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you give me the Airwalks or the British Knights or the LA Gear, I'm good, bro.
there we go.
Exactly, facts, bro. That's what I need in my life.
That's a fact. Sure. That's a fact, man. Man, get us going, Jay, man. What we got, man? What we got?
Yeah. So again, we just got done with OTAs. We had Rookie Mini Camp a few weeks ago as well. So let's go ahead and really chop it up of the off season in entirety so far. How we feeling? Who are the standouts and how we looking moving forward? Because we got literally mini camp right around the corner and a few days away. So let's go ahead and kick it off. State of the off season. So I want to go ahead and start with this. Who do y'all feel are the standouts of this off season currently?
You want to start off? Power?
I think right now, I mean, the standouts right now is just a battle for the wide receivers. Going out there because definitely we got to work on that. We got a great draft this year, and I think definitely Jack Beck is gonna do great. We definitely got to re-sign some new people too, but that's out of the wide receiver role. We
get
gotta
to
keep seeing. We got Jacoby Myers. You talked earlier about Dante Thor, the senior, the rookie. He's doing really good too. So I'm expecting a lot of right now. The way I see it, is I like how everything plays out during the training camps and everything, and I love when preseason comes around because everybody says it's just preseason, it doesn't matter. And to be honest, I love going to preseason games because these people are like, putting the blood, sweat, and tears out there just to land the 53-man roster. And it's one of the best games you could see. Just because you get to see the talent that you don't really get to see out on the field because you have a lot of starters that I got my spot and that's pretty much it. But I like to see all those new guys coming up, and I wish everybody well. 53-man roster, then you have what a 12-man or 17-man for practice. No, it's 12, right? Practice, and so we'll see what happens. Definitely. Just the battle for the wide receiver. I mean, we locked in our running back, so that's going to be good. So definitely that, and just helping out our linemen, because we got the best running back, but if our linemen are not opening the holes for, Ashton Genty to run through, it's going to be hard, man.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I kind of share the sentiment of like, I don't think that this point in the offseason is super important right now, just because everybody's in shorts and shirts, and kind of just to piggyback off what Power Ranger said, like the most important part of the team we can't even take a look at really, and that's the lines, right? Like the defensive line, the offensive line. Like, so I'm excited about the receivers for sure. I think Dante Thornton has stood out a lot, and I've had some criticism, I would say, for that, because I would say like I don't know if he can run the full route tree right now, but as of right now, he's looked good. So I want to see him continue. Heard some things about Darian Porter, and I'm glad about that because I already said it. I think I want him to, I would hope he turns into CB1. You would hope, right? And then, but really, I really want to look at the lines, bro. Like, really, nothing gets cracking for me, and I can't really know what type of team we are until I see what our offense and defensive line look like. Once I see that, and I see like, okay, yeah, our offensive line that took a step up, they look better. Then I say, okay, like I'm real confident in certain games, right? But then if you flip it around, if the defensive line don't look good, if Christian Wilkins ain't playing, and certain guys don't start stepping up on that defensive line, well, now I'm sweating because now I'm like, this defense don't have the talent to overcome our defensive line not playing well. We just don't. So I'm hoping. Really, that's right.
Yeah, no, for sure. And kind of sticking on that topic, Dante Thornton, right? So is he underrated? True or false? Right. We just talked about him, and like you said, you've been pretty critical of him, but it's a good thing, right?
Right.
And the thing about it is that he's shocked a lot of people with his performance as of late, and this is, and I feel, I mean, we were together when he got drafted. I was very excited when he got picked up. He's a tall receiver, 6'5", about 225 around, and runs a 4.3, fast as shit. Right now, we're starting to see that there was more to it than just basic route running, and I think that was a lot because of what Tennessee how they ran their offense. Nothing really to himself, so he might have the accolades of being able to really run a really good route tree. We haven't seen it yet, and this might be a thing too where Chip Kelly might kind of keep that and hold that in the vest for a while, and really unveils it probably week 1, week 2 of the season and really start showcasing Dante Thornton, because right now everybody thinks like, well, you know what? It's been OTAs, it's been rookie mini camp. It doesn't really mean anything, right? I mean, yeah, he's caught a few balls here and there, but it might be a thing where it might be underrated on purpose at this point, because they're probably trying to keep that kind of, sealed up and really unveiling it and really start throwing darts out there and really, we're really taking advantage of the teams out there, right? Especially if they're not really thinking that he's going to be able to go ahead and really run routes like that. So,
yeah,
I think he's totally underrated for sure. How do you feel, Steve?
Coming from Tennessee, I saw a few of his highlights. To be honest, I haven't been up with a lot of training videos or anything going on. Because you guys all know everything's been going on the past.
Yeah, you've been busy, man. You've been busy.
I've been busy, especially summer kickoff, and then supporting my friend and everything. So, in the end, I wish everybody well. Is he underrated or true or false? I honestly see. Let's see how he does out on the preseason. Right now, it's training camp. Everybody looks great in training camp, but when you really get the heat out there with a real defense and getting right on your face, let's see how they perform. And I mean, yeah. So far, what I'm seeing and reading and the reports and everything, he's doing good. So, I mean, I know you guys were excited when he got drafted, and these players, sometimes they do good, sometimes they don't do good. I like when Tyreek Wilson got drafted, I was super excited, but then I'm like, oh man, what happened?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, bro, I'm gonna say false. And the reason I say false is because I just think he's rated. I don't think he's like underrated, overrated. Like I just think he's rated. Because where I always get like not bad, but where I always have a problem with is like when you're not automatically like, oh yeah, bro, he might become the best receiver in the NFL. He might be a top 10 dude. When you start saying like what they have to actually work on, now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, he's hating. He's doing this, he's doing that. But newsflash, if he was 6'5", 4'3", ran every route tree ran every route in the route tree, we're not getting him in the third, fourth round. This is not happening.
Oh, no.
That motherfucker's going first round. So there's a reason why certain people are taken where they're taken, right? Now, is it fair sometimes? No, right? But like Steve said, we got to see what preseason look like. We got to see what all this look like, bro, because now we can start having confidence. Right now, it's just a whole bunch of he said, she said. We know he's fast. We know this and that. And we've seen him, a couple clips of him catching the ball, shorts and shirts and whatever the case. That's cool. But even so, I really hear nothing about no one-on-ones, nothing like that, right? So I'm waiting for the competition to really ramp up because the competition ain't really ramped in OTAs. Everybody's learning, right? Everybody trying to get the scheme. Everybody trying to understand what the new coach wants. Now, like you said, when we go to mini camp, we go to training camp, now the pressure's on, right? Now you got to start making plays, bro, because you're trying to get a spot. So now we got to see what you do. So I really want to look. I really want to see. I just think he's rated right now. I don't think underrated, overrated. I just think rated.
Yeah. Since Steve was saying that he hasn't seen really too much of the offseason, I do have a video clip that I can go ahead and share. And Dante Thornton is actually in it. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. There we go.
See, I love it, but let's not. This is where, again, let's not use this video to be like, man, I told you, Dante Thornton's going to have 1,000 yards this year. Like, dog, he did one out route on air. You feel what I'm saying? One out route on air. We have to wait until what the one-on-ones look like and all the extra. But I like the way he looks, right? He looks good. He looked the part for sure. I mean, he put a prototypical X receiver, bro. You put him on the outside with that speed and all that. he got the look 100%. We just got to see how it's going.
I think the other week he did beat Chin over the top for a touchdown from Gino. I think that was like early week 1 of the OTAs where they were scrimmaging, and yeah, he did beat. So he's had his successes, and that's where everybody's starting to say, well, he's starting to look good. But I wanted to kind of show, I want to show that a little clip, because that actually takes us to our next segment, which is state of the offense, right? So we saw Gino throwing the ball right now. We saw Trey Tucker. We saw clips of other people. I mean, realistically, we already had the OTs so far. What are we thinking as far as the state of the offense? Does it look like it's going to be competitive? Does it still need more work? How do y'all feeling?
Start off with Steve.
For me, on the offense, I really just think we just got to stay more consistent and stay healthy, man. Minimize the injuries because we have some great players, but how dependable are they? Can we depend on them on the field? If they're going to stay healthy, because that's what's hurting us a lot. We get a lot of people being hurt, and then like we got these rookies or people that are not veteran or players that are not veteran, and it's just a different game for them, and it's just like, what happened to our team? So we just got to make sure we get our players healthy. I mean, we got a great offensive line right now. We got DJ Glaze, JPJ, Dylan Parton, Colton Miller, Brock Bowers, of course, is going to kill it. I really hoped he got the Rookie of the Year last year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I stole that from him.
Yeah,
that sucks. It's just because we're the Raiders, right? They always.
He ain't no quarterback, bro. I mean, you're not gonna get it over the quarterback. We all know that.
But yeah, definitely just staying healthy, stay consistent, and have everybody out on the field on the practice. There's no favoritism or anything like that. I like what Pete Carroll's just having out there. Everybody practice on the field and just give it all their best, because nobody has a secure job. And at the end of the day, it's who's performing and who's consistent. I think that's what he's looking for.
I agree. For me, man, I'm sitting here. I'm thinking, to be honest, bro, I've said it already. I think the offense is going to be better than the defense this year. That's my hot take, bro. I think the offense will be better than the defense. I just think there are more veteran pieces on the offense. There's more things that click now. You know what I mean? You got the running back, you got the receivers, you got kind of complementary pieces. You got the superstar on there, whereas on defense, we done let some people go, right? And it's like we got to kind of get our rhythm back with these new players and see how we gel with them. But like Steve said, bro, I mean, the offensive line looks good, right? I mean, it looks like they're gelled. Most of the offensive line is coming back from last year, right? Like everybody played, except not everybody played on that offensive line for real. So really, real talk, everybody's coming back. It's cohesive. Now there is one dude on the offensive line. We're not gonna get into it right now, but there's one dude on the offensive line where I think his spot's in trouble. But hey, that's a conversation for another day. Either way, there's still 4 other dudes that's been together, so that's fine. You got a superstar with Brock. You got a steady weapon with Jacoby. You added into that, but for me, bro, I've said it again. 2 X factors, maybe 3 X factors that can really take this over the top, bro. Michael Mayer, if he plays well, it takes the offense over the top. It takes it over because then that's just another dude you got to look at, you got to scheme for. And then you look at the rookie receivers, if Jack Bech can do his thing, if Dante Thornton can do his thing. But realistically, bro, I'm looking at Trey Tucker, bro. I think Trey Tucker has gotten the short end of the stick since he's been drafted to this organization, bro. Since he's been drafted here, he's been getting shitty quarterbacks, fans calling him shit, right? Like it's like, and you look at, bro, it's like, it's not your fault. It's really not his fault. He's open. If we go to the games, and maybe, Steve can attest to this, bro. If you're at the games and you're watching Trey Tucker, his ass be open, right? His ass do be open. But we haven't had no quarterbacks to get him the football, and that's not his fault. He plays a position that's dependent on the quarterback position. So I think he can do something, and I think he'll finally show us something. And if he does, oh yeah, no, it's a wrap. There's no way you can scheme for this offense. No way.
Definitely, Geno Smith's going to show some love out there, you know.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And we finally got a quarterback that can go deep. That's the next thing, right?
Yeah.
You're calling the quarterback. He finally willing to throw deep. That's the next thing, bro. Because all these other quarterbacks we didn't have, trash.
Well, we got some great players: Jacoby Myers, Jack Betch, and Trey Tucker. I mean, I think they're definitely going to stand out a lot. I think that Jack Betch is going to come out big time this season. It's going to be big time, and I mean, the opponents are not going to know whether to block the run play or go deep because we have weapons. And I agree with you. Our offense is going to be amazing this year. Our defense, was lacking big time, on the red zone and everything. So right now our offense is really beefed up. I love it. We just got. I'm glad we got Ashton Genty because we were the last in the running games for the season. We didn't have that many yards. I think we were last. I think on running.
They're last, bro.
So definitely.
It's gonna balance us out for sure, 100%. I mean, we got to get balanced, bro. I mean, last year you couldn't run for no yard. I mean, it was 4th and 1, or on the 1 yard line and the goal line. None of us had no type of confidence that he's about to get that 1 yard or get it in, bro. And that's shameful. That is shameful.
Yeah, facts. I think it's gonna be a total 360 on the offense from what it was last year. Like you said. It's the script is gonna be flipped. It's gonna be the offense that's gonna be the dominant force. Defense is taking a step back, not a big step back, but there are some positions that are questionable at the moment, and we're gonna get into it in just a bit. But as of right now, for the offense, it looks like it's a total 360. We went out and traded for Geno, so now we got an actual real quarterback. We have weapons now. We had a really good draft. Went out and got receivers Jack Bash. We got Dante Thornton, who we were just talking about. But more importantly, we went out and got ourselves the best running back in the draft. Might possibly be the rookie of the year. And Ashton Genty, that's, hopefully going to literally just revamp our offense entirely, because now we're going to have a solid running game. And I didn't get the chance to get the clip, but there's a clip out there where he talks about how many yards he's going to be hoping to achieve. And like we were talking about, me and Ron been saying this for since he got drafted, or even before he got drafted, that we need to see at least a minimum 1,500 yards. So I don't know if he was tapping in or what, but he's out there saying that I'm hoping at least to get 1,500 yards, 15 to 20 touchdowns for the season. You know what I'm saying? You're muted, bro. You're muted. There you go.
I'm glad you said that, bro. Because when we said that, what did people say? Oh, you're tripping. You're tripping, man. How dare you ask that from a rookie? What the fuck are you saying?
That's from the horse's mouth, bro. That's from the horse's mouth. He said
was drafted
it himself.
6th overall in the draft. If this man came out here and was like, I just want to get a nice little 1,100 yards, bro, I look at you, Jay. You already know what I'd say, bro. That first Saturday, if he came out here and was like, I just want 1,100 yards. Are you serious? What? No, you got it right. 1,500 plus, and that's not even counting the receiving. What I told you, that's not even counting the receiving, bro. So now, if I add another 300 on top of that, now we're looking at 1,800 yards all purpose. That is rookie of the year shit for a running back. You feel what I'm saying? Saquon got 2,000 all purpose his first year. That's what I want. Close to that. That's what I want, bro.
They're supposed to be on that same level. So
they were telling us this man's generational. If you're going to tell me this man's generational, right, and Saquon is not generational, you goddamn right I want 2,000 yards all purpose, bro. What are you saying, bro? Let's stop that. Stop that.
So you're putting money on it that he's going to beat Josh Jacobs' rookie season, his rushing yards over 1,100?
He better, because look, Josh, when did we take Josh? We took Josh, what, like late 20s? We took him late 20s or whatever the case. He was still a first-round pick, but he was late 20s. Hey, dog, you a top 10 overall pick, and many people were trying to compare him to Barry Sanders. You say what you want, but that's what they was doing. It's unfair. But if that's what you're going to do, bro, you better get over 1,100 yards, dog. No question. Unless the offensive line, like everybody on the offensive line, start getting hurt every other week, then at that point you have an excuse, because now your offensive line is getting injured and you ain't got no continuity short. But if everybody on the offensive line plays and we straight, oh no, hell no. Yeah, you better get over that. Better.
Yeah, you got Josh Jacobs at 1,150 yards in 2019. So I'm pretty sure, now with the alignment that we have and everything, Ashton Jenkins gonna kill it. Yeah.
Hey, bro, this is real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Steve, you got to be subjected to this, bro. But sometimes in the podcast realm, you got to kind of put people down off their rocker, right? Money Chuck gonna come out here and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. And this motherfucker's trying to make a point about pass blocking in OTAs. In OTA, they ain't got no pads, nothing. So he like the way he come up and hit a bag. That's what he like. Bro, Money Chuck, shut the hell up, bro. Get up out of here, bro. Stop it. Sound fucking stupid. Continue, bro. Continue. Let's keep going. My man got a bag. He like, oh man, I love the way he pass blocks on a bag with
that's a bag.
Raider assistant holding him. Yeah, stop it, bro. Get the fuck out of here. When I see him put Dre Greenlaw on his ass, or I see him in the Chargers game or that Patriots game, pass block well, then at that point you have all liberty to say he's pass blocking well and he's doing what he wants to do. But we're in OTAs right now, big dog. Calm yourself. And
he's still learning. He hasn't really had to do this before. So now,
and what's crazy is, and what's crazy is, right? Genty had a story. I don't know if you have it, but he had a story on Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast, right? Yeah. And what's funny is, I think the day before the draft, Pete and I think John Spytek or whatever called him, and immediately they said, hey, you think we can fix that pass blocking? If Pete's saying that and John Spytek is saying that, what the fuck do you think sitting on your couch saying that this man can pass block? What? What, bro? Pete and John Spytek are calling this man the day before the draft and saying, hey, bro, we got to fix that pass blocking. We got to fix that fumbling. And then when we come out here and say it, we don't know what the fuck we talking about. Hey, say what you want. Right. Say what you want.
On tape. It's all on tape.
Say what you want.
It's nothing that it's like we're making up shit. It's just, it is what it is. But this is the thing. They're addressing it. And you have to. You can't just let him do what he wants and kind of try to figure it out on the fly.
No,
it has to be addressed. He has to learn how to pass block, especially if he's going to be a 3-down back. It's critical. Having to be a generational type running back, he needs to do that, especially how we're going to, expect to utilize him. So we're going to be in those situational 3rd-down scenarios where we need like a Genty or we need a Genty to sell play action.
Right.
You gotta have him on the field.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and move on, bro, because we're gonna get some more dumbass comments.
Yeah, I do want to say something. Hey, right now I know some of you guys are commenting on YouTube, and I just want to say, it's all smack football talk, guys. Don't take it literal. Some of these guys, just take it to the heart. At the end of the day, our guys are going to be on the field, and one of you guys will be proven right, And right now, it's just too early to determine that. Just like you were saying, Rundown, too early to say anything like that.
And this is the thing, bro. This is where like the differences come on. With Jay and I, and even Chris, Leo, all that. Like, bro, we don't care about being wrong. Low key, I hope I'm wrong in certain instances, because if I'm wrong in certain instances, that means the team is better, right? So then at that point, bro, I don't care about coming out here and being like, oh, yeah, I was wrong. This dude outperformed what I thought he was going to. That's what you want. What you don't want is to say, oh, I don't think this dude's going to do it. And then he don't do it. And then you're like, oh, shit, well, I was right. But at the end of the day, like, it's detriment to the team. Like, that's what you don't want. That's what you don't want. Last but not least, man, we'll leave it out of here, man. Money Chuck says every time you see me, I'm doing majority of talking. Well, that's crazy, bro. Every time I see you, you say stupid shit. So, I mean, we right there. We're all together, bro. We're all together. I see you say, you see me, I'm talking. So there we go.
There you go. All right. So let's go ahead and shift from the offense, right? Because I think we're going to be really good in that department. Let's talk about the trenches, right? So there's been some questions, especially around Christian Wilkins and his injury.
Yeah.
And he is an integral part of the trenches alongside with Max Crosby. We have the return of Malcolm Kuntz. He's back at OTA since last week. Thank God. So now he's getting some reps in. We picked up JJ Pegues. We picked up Tonka Hemingway, so we have additional depth, some talent at tackle. We brought back Adam Butler. So with all those pieces together, how do you guys feel about the state of the trenches? With the Christian Wilkins injury still being up in the air, we don't know how that's going to go. Is this going to be a very formidable trench? Is it going to be something that we have to kind of lean on the side of caution? How are we feeling about that? I'll start with you, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, start with Steve.
Definitely, man. Just like I said, offense the same way. Defense got to stay healthy out there in the field. Our linemen is very important to be there. Christian Wilkins are going to have him as a tackle, I'm pretty sure. I played football for high school for 3 years, defensive end, and I always look up to all the defensive ends. I'm a defensive end guy. You know, that's why I like Max Crosby. Christian Wilkins came out as defensive end. I'm like, hell yeah. Chopped it up with him. We took pictures together because he's a big Power Ranger fan himself too. And we're like, oh, let's go. And we have a lot of pictures together. And in fact, I stole him. You know, if Christian Wilkins is watching this video, I stole your suit because I told him I was going to get him a suit. But
oh man, fire, bro.
Definitely, I look at defensive ends and I see if they're doing their job. Their job, bro, is to out and contain. You know, have them run inside. You know, if these guys are, you know, the offense are enemies running outside, the defensive ends are not doing their job. You know, and our linemen, you know, our defensive end line, our defensive linemen will take care of the rest. As long as our DNs are containing and having the guys go in through the pocket, in through the line, then we'll be good. You know, we're gonna see how Malcolm Kuntz does, Tyree Wilson, Max Crosby. You know, is always a key leader there. I love what he does. He's just very aggressive, and definitely we'll see what ends up happening. We're gonna play a nickelback, you know, or if we're gonna have to re-sign Robert Spillane. You know, that's a big one that I want to see. You know, that they sign Robert Spillane or Trayvon Murray and Nate Hobbs. You know, we'll see what happens with those. And, you know, because our defense really lacked so much on our red zone, like I said earlier. We gave so many opportunities for touchdowns in the red zone last season, and it's just like, well, what happened to our defense? You know, and ultimately, after the season's over, then we start rewinding tapes. We start saying, okay, you know, because of these injuries, you know, it hurt us so much when Christian Wilkins was out. You know, and that's what I see. You know, we just gotta stay our guys healthy, and have the backups, you know, available, ready to go, and do their job. That's my take on that. I'm a defensive end guy, like I said. You know, I looked up to Greg Townsend. You know, he's an all-time sack leader, which I really think he should be in the Hall of Fame. So NFL's watching, has to be in the Hall of Fame. He's 109.5 sacks. I mean, Howie Long's another defensive end guy I like. So definitely, you know, D ends are very important. You know, the pass rushing is very important, and so we'll see how that goes. You know, putting that pressure to the quarterback and containing it to have him run into the middle. That's the key right there. Solidifying our linebackers. You know, and re-signing some of these veterans back because we do have a lot of rookies right now. I think we have 19. No, I don't know how many rookies, but we have a lot of rookies in this roster right now. But again, the roster is going to boil down to 53-man rosters right now by the season starts. So we'll see who makes it, who doesn't make it, and it's hope for our best for the team. You know, one thing I do want to let Raider Nation know is, hey, keep the faith alive, keep the hope alive. You know, if we don't win the first game, guys, you know, it's not that the season's over. You know what? We're still there. We're still practicing, and I don't like when people start walking out from their bleachers, you know, leaving, you know, on third quarter. You know, a lot of things can happen. You know, we've seen it several times where we win, you know, we intercept, you know, the Patriots game. We got the touchdown at the end, you know. So a lot of things could happen. And so just stay till the end and be the fan, you know, represent your colors and just don't, you know, this is our home turf. And I know that we have the disadvantages here in Las Vegas, you know, as a tourist attraction area. But, you know, when you start walking away from the bleachers, I'm like, man, you know what? I'm like, for reals? You know, maybe you want to beat the traffic and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you know what? How are we going to have a home team advantage when you start just giving up in the halftime or by third quarter. And our team right now is not in a rebuild. And definitely this is why we have Pete Carroll. This is why Max Crosby stayed, because we're not in a rebuild right now. We're just solidifying the areas of opportunities that we need to fix in our defense. And we're definitely, we're going to see a huge outcome, a huge turnaround from our defense this year.
100%. 100%. Hey, shout out to some of the people in the chat tapping in, man. Our guy Rebel in the building, man. Salute,
brother.
Salute to the guy Chewy as well, man. What's going on, big dog? See you getting it in with Rebel, man, on the show, man. So congratulations, you getting your show started, you getting your channel started. Happy to see that.
Yep.
Our guy LB Raider 10 in the building. Too. Yeah, man, that's fire, bro. I love seeing people get their show started, man. I love it.
For sure.
Dustin in the building, man. Appreciate you for tapping in. Thank you. And of course, man, our guy Jack Kenna is in the building as he always
My
is.
guy
man.
Jack, what a dude.
Yeah,
brother.
Jack Kenna in the building. Our family, Cheeto in the building, man. What's up, family? What's going on, big dog? But to answer the question, like I said it in the beginning, right? Like, I don't know what type of team we're gonna have until I can see what the trenches look like, right? Like, and that's coming with the training camp and all that. Once I see what the trenches look like, then I can say, all right, yeah, we're poised to win this many games. We can win this many games. You know what I mean? Because it's all about that, and how far the trenches can take you into maybe December, January. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm more confident in the offensive line right now as it sits than I am with the defensive line. And main reason is because main piece, right? One of the biggest pieces is injured. Now, this is knock on wood. You hope that he can come back in training camp and all that. But if this injury for Wilkins lasts until training camp, I think I said it already, Jay, on one of our shows, bro. Like, that's when you got to start sweating. If the injuries start lasting in the training camp and he's not getting that many reps in training camp, all of a sudden it's preseason, and then now it looks like you're trying to ramp him up, like, that's not good, bro. That's not good. A man that big having a foot problem, you know what I mean? You got to be as cautious as you can. Got to be as cautious. And sometimes the time frame, right, it might be bad. And that's when I heard from Pete the other day when he was like, yeah, it's a long, challenging process. I'm like, oh, God damn. You know what I mean? So that might mean it's going to take a minute, right, for him to get right. And that means maybe he can't do no football-related stuff. So if he can't work out like that, like, that's a whole different, bro, scenario that it's a whole thing you can go into. But now you got to start looking at who can back him up, right? You got Kuntz back, so that helps, right? You got Kuntz back, that helps.
Help a lot.
Got Crosby, okay, he's back, that's good. But the interior now is where we're looking, right? Because we don't have no nose for real. I don't think we got a nose. John Jenkins went to the Ravens or some shit like that, so he's gone.
Yeah.
Now you got some of the ooses in there, right? You got some ooses. You got guy we signed from the Jets, I believe he's in there. And then you got somebody Lualu that was playing last year, right? So you got some ooses in there, and then you got some rookies you just got, but they're young, bro. These is young dudes. In the interior, Adam Butler is the oldest guy probably we got, and he's like 30s, in his 30s, but everybody else is young. 1-2 years, maybe 3 years in the league. So we got to see. And then, of course, the X factor on the defensive line that we all know about is Tyree Wilson, right? I call him the anomaly, dog, because if he ends up playing well, this defensive line can be a top 5 defensive line. No question. Top 5 defensive line, bro, because you got that dude, Crosby, Kuntz. If Wilkins can come back, it's very minimal offensive lines that's stopping that. But if he does not play well, then we probably should somewhere middle of the pack. The defensive line is sitting somewhere middle of the pack, bro, because he is the piece that can take this over the top or not, especially if Christian Wilkins is not playing. So definitely got to see that.
I agree. I think for offensively, there's going to be a lot of competition. I think we're probably going to have one of the better offensive lines we've seen probably in the past like 2 seasons or so, if not 3. So that's a step up. That's an improvement, right? We went out and we got 2 guys. It looks like Caleb Rogers is definitely in contention to probably maybe land a starting spot.
That's what I'm looking at.
You still have Kappa there. So right guard and left guard are are right now up for grabs. Center most likely is going to be solidified by JPJ. We know where Colton's going to be. He's still going to be at his left tackle spot. Glaze is most likely he's still going to have to compete for the right tackle, but he's probably going to have that one and done. It is on the defensive side where come maybe late July, early August, you're going to have to start evaluating, and you may be sweating. It depends how Christian Wilkins does. It's a very young, unproven middle trench defensively, right? Because we don't know how, though JJ and Tonka are very talented, and we have the Ooses, they're still improving. We know what Lawler can bring, and because we've seen the body of work he got from last season. But these other two guys, we don't know really where they lie. They are very talented. There's promising its potential, but at the end of the day, what is that really going to look like come game day? That's where we're going to have to ask ourselves. So defensively, we might have to err on the side of caution. Offensively, it's a very competitive competitive moment right now, and hopefully we'll get to see kind of what the offensive line looks like come closer to late July, early August, when training camp is really starting to kick off. And we'll get more or less our names are going to be on our offensive line. But let me go ahead and switch it gears. And I know you mentioned it too, Steve, about our linebackers, right? So state of the linebackers, and we talked about this before. There's some questions as far as middle linebacker, cover linebacker, right? We got E-Rob, and aside from him, I think that's pretty much who are the standouts are going to be in that linebacker room. We hope that Amari Gaynor is really going to come out this year. He's been doing work before even camp to go ahead and really push himself and progress. But other than that, I mean, we went out and got Devin White, but Devin White is not the same Devin White of 2019, 2020 with our early years over in Tampa.
Yeah, bro.
So he has a few setbacks, some injuries. Tommy Eichenberg, we haven't seen too much progression. I think this is the second or third season with us. And then we went on and got Cody Lindenberg, which has talent, but again, another unproven guy. How do we feel about the state of the linebacker room at this moment? Is this something for concern? Is this something we need to panic? Are we feeling it's good? It's good enough.
Yo, I'll let Steve start off, man. People know how I feel.
Well, like I just expressed earlier, I definitely think we gotta re-sign Robert Spillane, get him back in here. You got Rob and you got Devin White, and just having that backup, as the linebackers, because we're definitely need to improve our defense. As long as, like I said, as long as our defensive linemen are healthy, like how you guys all mentioned, Butler's is the senior there. He's 8 years. Like Rundown was saying, he's the oldest right there. Then you got Max Crosby, but our X factor, as long as Tyree Wilson does what he does, everything else is going to be great with our defense. But linebackers, I think Robert Spillane did an amazing job. I think he did really good. And just to have Rob and Devin White there, it would be great to have. But still, like I mentioned, I think it's still too early to see what happens. They might be shopping around. I don't know. Who do you think, Rundown, besides Robert Spillane, they should get? It's outside available right now.
Available. This is why, like, it's tough. Kaiser White is out there. That's fine. That could work. Jawan Bentley is still out there, I believe, so that could work. Jermaine Pratt, maybe, from Cincinnati, that could work. But they're all older. Because I've already prepared my people on my channel, on my show, just saying, like, bro, we're gonna go into this year and this is gonna be a problem. I've just put it out there already, bro, because like everybody says, retool. That's what we want to say. We don't want to say rebuild. We want to say retool. In this year one of the retool, bro, you're not going to be able to get every single problem fixed. It's just not going to happen, bro. Like they're coming from a regime that just won 4 games. So at the end of the day, something's not right. Right? Like something's wrong. If you were working at fucking Target, Burger King, whatever the case, bro, and somebody's not getting the order fast enough, then something's wrong, right? Like something's got to get right. So we got to fix that. But sometimes the fix ain't quick. And I think this is one of those instances where they're banking on young talent, Amari Gaynor, one of the Bergs, right? Cody Lindenberg, Eichenberg, somebody. They got to do something behind Elandon Roberts, or they're hoping that they can get something out of Devin White. But it's like, you see how all of those things that I just said kind of seem slim that it end up happening, right? We haven't seen Devin White do good until 2019. So that's okay. That's a couple years from now. That's 6 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? So as of right now, how confident can we be that he's just going to return back to form just like that, right? Like let's keep it realistic. Then you're looking at Amari Gaynor. Was he drafted or was he undrafted?
I think he came undrafted.
So if Gaynor's undrafted, again, that's asking it now, right? You got to understand what we're asking too, bro. We're asking an undrafted linebacker second year to damn near turn into a consistent starter in the league. Like that's not easy, right? That's not easy to do. If he does it, thank God, right? But that's why you don't see that many undrafted motherfuckers running around the league doing all that, because sometimes it just takes the right situation, right person, whatever the case. So
yeah, Jack kind of says
okay, he was undrafted. Eichenberg was late round. Cody Lindenberg was 7th round. So we're asking these late round linebackers, undrafted or somebody that ain't really played that much, to take this big ass leap. You know what I mean? Like, and more times than not, that's not really how it goes down. It's not really how it goes down. All of us been around Raider football enough to know that sometimes you expect some shit and then it don't end up happening the way you think it expected, the way it's supposed to go down. Now we're all mad, right? Like we're all angry. So I just think, as of right now, bro, the linebackers, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, we currently have 9 right now on the roster. Out of the 9, 3 are rookies. So we'll definitely see, who shines the most with all these practices. Right now, it's just the battle going on. And, as a veteran, I would say just bring Robert Spillane back. But we'll see what the Raiders decide to do. And I'm going to trust what the coaches decide to do. You know?
Yeah. Now, real quick, God, family, and Raiders, I would love C.J. Mosley, but I heard he got a neck injury. I heard there's it's something that they're worried that it might linger. So if that's the case, you might have to stay away.
I heard that too. I heard the neck injury too. I've also heard that it's good, but that's probably why they haven't pulled the trigger on.
But then why? If it was good, he'd be signed already, right? I mean, he's that good.
Yeah,
where he'd probably be gone.
Agent.
Yeah, he'd probably be gone already if we thought it was all the way healed.
Yeah. Really quick, shout out to our guy Chewy.
Hey,
holla with the
appreciate you, big dog.
Raiders. Hold on, I gotta do it.
Raiders.
Yes, sir.
Get on the field, goddammit. Get his ass on, but make him do that shit on the field. Shit.
I know. I might be healthy. I need that on the field.
You feel me?
Yeah, I think we need to add more to this linebacker room. It is, for me, it's a big area of concern at the moment. I think that's a liability, to be honest with you, right? Aside from Elandon Roberts, we just hope that Devin White does good, and the rookie Lindenberg really balls out. But we don't know yet. We don't know what that looks like. Probably won't know until preseason what that actually looks like, right? So, unfortunately, Spillane got signed to the Patriots, so we're gonna see Spillane, but not with the silver and black. He's gonna be on the opposite side of the field, playing against us in New England.
So see, that's how I told you I'm disconnected right there.
Nah, you're good, bro. We got you. We got you. Don't worry. Yeah. So he's gone. Morg left as well. I think he went over to the Panthers. New England got a lot of our sloppy seconds, if you want to say, right? But that's good. That's good. That puts a little chip on that game, a little chip on our shoulder for that New England game, because now we're going to see our old guys, and how is that going to really fare up? Our defense versus our old defense, our new defense versus our old defense, right? But for right now, for sure, we definitely need to go out and get more bodies. I don't know what the holdup is because now we're in June, first week of June down. They're still waiting to see if more people get cut. I'm thinking that may be the case. I hope we get somebody by next month. This is realistic what I'm trying to put out there. So Raider organization, get us somebody. You know, I mean, Justin Simmons is still available as far as I know. We talked about CJ Mosley, but there's a concern regarding the previous neck injury that he had before. So there's a couple other guys out there in free agency, and obviously people are going to be cut as of yet. I haven't seen too many big names out there that got cut. So definitely an area of concern. But I hope if Gainer steps out, great. If Cody Lindenberg balls out and is has his rookie year, great. Because we're gonna need that.
This is a great question right here too by Jack, man. I mean, who would be the 2 third down linebackers in that? Meaning, like, who do we trust more primarily in pass coverage is the question, right? When we dumb it down, who do we primarily trust when it's passing down and we know that these motherfuckers passing? I like Elandon Roberts, but he's not that, right? Like, he's more first, second down, run stuffing linebacker, sure.
Yeah.
When we talk about linebackers that we think are good against the pass, dog, like, if you look at the roster, there's not many. There's not many on the roster that we say, oh, yeah, bro, this is a linebacker that'd be good against the pass. You know what I mean? Can play zone and can do all that. Nah, bro. None. You got to keep it a beam, Jack. Like, Eichenberg, no, right? I've seen that already, and hopefully he gets better. But Lindenberg, he's a rookie, so I don't know. Devin White for sure, hell no. Hell no. You're not putting him on third down and pass coverage. Now, if you want him to blitz, by all means, right? If you want Devin White to blitz the quarterback and to provide some pressure, so be it. But not no pass coverage, hell no. And then after that, bro, there's really nobody that's going to. That's why I keep telling y'all, it's going to be a problem. If the D-line don't eat and the quarterback just back there trying to find somebody, he's going to find somebody. I guarantee you, because we cannot play zone coverage in the second level, bro. It's just, we can't.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to our guy Dub Raider, who was on the show last week. Any word on Ramsey as of yet?
Quiet on the front, bro, but they're trying to get the money right.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the money right because the whole thing is it really matters what the Dolphins do. They're trying to make sure that they have as much money as possible after either cutting them or trading them. Now, of course, they're going to want to trade them because they get something in return. But if they cut them, they get nothing. So they're trying to figure that out. But it got to keep in mind, bro, trading at least guarantees that we have a shot to get him. Now, if they cut him, now we trying to bid against like 3-4 other teams and shit, and we don't know what's gonna go down. So at that point, it's just how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally it. You trade him, you most likely have a lock on him. If he gets cut, yes, it might come out a little bit cheaper, but then you're in a bidding war possibly. You know, it's just what other teams go out there and show interest. So,
now I see, hey, my boy 805. Shout out to 805 in the building. Shout out to God Family and Raiders and all these guys, man. Now, a easy solution, and you know, we talked about it. Jay and I talked about it. I talked about it, or whatever. Easy solution for our linebackers is to say one of those big safeties to play linebacker damn near, right? Like Chin, Palamau, put them down there, bro. Let them play linebacker. Let them cover, right? Exactly. Let them cover. See,
exactly.
Another fucking problem, right? Are we fully confident that Palamau can play center field safety? Are we fully confident in that fact? That is where, and when I mean that, I mean like Charles Woodson type shit, where I need you roaming the backfield back here, right? In case anything goes deep, and you go ahead and patrol back here. I don't know if I trust Palamau to do that 100%. Even Harper, whoever the hell that, you know what I mean, that backup, I don't know about that. So that's where, I mean, we're just running into problem after problem on the defense. So that's where I'm like, fuck. It might be a little issue first couple weeks when we're getting our footing on defense, trying to understand how to play.
Right, exactly. And that might be the case. And that just kind of just rolls over to to the next topic, which is the state of the secondary, right? So obviously we talked about Jalen Ramsey. Shout out to our guy Dub Raider who brought that up, right? We talked about it last week. He would instantly boost our secondary instantly. There is no margin or there is no grace period. It's like an immediate thing, right? So, but as it stands right now, I mean, there's no real clear cut CB1. We'll see what Jacorian Bennett does, right? Talked about that. Darian Porter, his progression, that might be a possibility, and that'd be crazy for a rookie to go ahead and step into a role that quickly, right? And it's almost like a kind of unheard of type of thing. But if it does, it's because the talent is really there. So that might be a possibility. We got Eric Stokes that we went out and got from Green Bay. If he stays healthy, that might be a potential guy that possibly takes a position like that. But as where it stands, there's still some concerns as well. But how we feeling about the secondary? We talked about Paul Mao. Can he really step up and play center field? We got Chen, who's a new arrival, still trying to get hold of the system. He already got cooked by Dante on some scrimmages a couple weeks ago. So what are we thinking? How are we feeling about that secondary? I'll start with you, Ron.
I like it. I like the secondary actually, but I would love it more if we get a veteran. I mean, again, bro, we're young. Like a lot of spots on the team, we're young as hell. You look at the secondary, I think who's the oldest guy? Who's the oldest guy on the secondary? Damn near Darnay Holmes. You feel what I'm saying?
I think Darnay Holmes.
I don't even think he's 30.
Really. Yeah, I don't think he's not even a starter.
No, so that shows like how young we are, inexperienced, right? So like you said, getting Jalen Ramsey, bro, to teach and to really mentor some of these guys like Darian Porter and all these other, it'd be beautiful. Now the only problem is we're inexperienced on the secondary. We're inexperienced. So that's probably where it's gonna get us at first. Again, being that inexperienced, and we going against some receivers this year too. So it's gonna be tough. But I got something to pose to y'all, and it's been a little hot topic around my show, and I've been trying to get it a hot topic around the nation.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Jacorian Bennett's spot is in trouble. Personally. And the only reason I say that is because he got injury history. He's not really, you know what I mean? He be getting injured towards the end of the season. And when we start talking about, it's funny, when we started talking about what type of corners Pete likes, right? And what type of corners this defense likes. I mean, when it came to Jacorian Bennett, everybody shooed that away and was like, well, not him. I'm not talking about Jacorian Bennett. I mean, everybody else, yeah, Pete likes him 6'3" and whatever. But exclude Jacorian Bennett at that. It don't matter. Bro, this man's barely 6 foot, right? So at that point, if we're talking about the corners that Pete likes, he don't fit that mold. Let's just keep the bean. He don't. He fits better in the slot in this type of Pete scheme. But I don't know if he can play in the slot. So I don't know, bro. The fact I'm seeing Eric Stokes getting all these reps and it's OTAs, but again, he's injured right now. Fucking Jacorian Bennett is injured right now. So,
what's his injury? What injury does he have?
I think it's still the shoulder. I think it's still the shoulder that he was dealing with from last year. But you know, we saw it last year. Last week we was talking to Dub, bro. You know, the video with the DB coach that you pulled up last week, and you remember he started talking about Jacorian Bennett. He said, you know, he's getting past the injuries. We got to get healthy, and you know, we got to learn the scheme. But then when he starts talking about Darian Porter, when he started talking about Darian Porter and Eric Stokes, he's like, oh, I love the way they're getting down. You know what I mean? They're getting aggressive. They know the scheme. They're getting out there. They're playing fast and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's two different frames of thinking, right? And at that point, bro, I'm not saying he's going to get cut or anything, but being around football, we all know if he don't start getting on the field, being healthy and making plays, you're going to get your fucking spot taken. That's just what's about to happen. It happened to the Thayer Mumford last year. You got hurt, wasn't able to play. We saw DJ Glaze come up and snake your ass for the spot. It can happen to Jacorian Bennett the same way if he don't start getting healthy and getting on the field and producing. Because there are other guys behind him that's healthy or that's healthier and hungrier that's ready to get out there. So that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, for Jacorian, it is all dependent whether he stays healthy, right? Talent. He's not Pete's typical corner, but he's here, right? He is from the old regime. He's been solid when he's been healthy, but yeah, that ACL was a big setback.
Right? So that's why I was like, bro, like I can't have my CB1 missing the last 4 or 5 games of the year, right? Like just that can't happen, or maybe 3, because that's when we gotta push into the playoffs, maybe, or do whatever. And to answer Afakasi's point, the reason I say that is because if I'm Pete and I'm John, I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? You played well for AP and Tom Telesco last year. That's fine and dandy. But I can come in this year and you ain't making no plays for me, right? And I can see it and I can be like, well, what the hell, right? I feel like coaches always got to give people that clean slate. Clean, right? Like where it's like, bro, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know you. There's only probably like 3 dudes on this team that got a solidified spot. But other than that, they brought in actual free agents that they liked and talked to and they know fit the scheme. Jacorian Bender was not one of those guys. That's just me. Like I don't think they thought that immediately.
Yeah, facts. What do you think?
As for me as a secondary, you have Isaiah Palomaro, then you have Jeremy Chin. Together, both they have about 10 years under the belt. Isaiah has 4 years, Jeremy has 6 years, and then you have your cornerbacks, Jacoby Bennett. Unfortunately he's hurt right now, but he's gonna get better. Eric Stokes, he's 5 years, and the way I see it, again, we're not in the rebuild stage. We just want to make sure our guys are healthy.
Right.
The way I see it, Pete Carroll, we're going to have that nickel in the back, nickel cornerback, and they're going to put Party Darnell Holmes back there. So that's where I'm seeing the scope, how they're playing everything. So that's the way I see the secondary is going to be. As long as they're healthy, we'll be good. But definitely, just to piggyback what Rundown's saying, what's that going to do for me if you're going to be hurt all the time? You got to just stay active and, can your team depend on you and stay healthy and, don't do those silly plays that can hurt you.
Yeah. We literally don't have a nickel right now because of that very problem, right? We don't have a nickel corner because our last nickel corner could not stay healthy, right? Yeah. And when it came down to the money, all of us finally was like, well, if he don't play the X, Y, and Z, he ain't playing all these games, why would we pay him this amount of money? And I think when it comes to the fan base and when it comes to fans, I think we all got to start doing that earlier. Like, let's not start thinking about contract or whatever, or how much he can make when it comes up, right? And now we're all surprised and we're like, oh, he wants this. Like, no, start thinking about that a year or 2 before. So now we're sitting here saying, well, shit, contract's coming up, but when we look back at it, you ain't finished the season in 2 years. Right? You have not finished the season. Since we've drafted you, you have not finished the season. You can say what you want. You can say he was this, he was good here, he was good here, he was good there. But that's a fact. Right? And again, you can say, fine, it's whatever. He missed the last 4 games, 5 games of the season. That don't matter. Okay. Look at our last 4 games this year. You tell me if that don't matter. You tell me if we can afford to have our starting corner hurt for the last 4 games this year. We cannot. We cannot, bro. Especially if some of y'all out here talking about playoffs. Hell no, you can't.
No.
Remember, we only won 4 games last year.
It's like, bro, we need better, bro. We need better than that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if we get consistency throughout the whole year, who knows what we can have? And even for him personally, right? Playing a full 17-game season gives you all that year to progress, all that year to get better. But if you're ending the year consistently hurt, then you got to fuck around. And in the offseason, you got to do some rehab instead of training, right? Yeah. Like, and this is 2 years in a row where you're doing this. So I just want him to be consistent, have a full season so we can see what he is, bro. First year was shaky for JB. Second year was good. We don't know what he actually is yet. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I just want to see that. Right. I just want to see that, bro. That's all. I just want to see him be consistent in that.
Yeah, I think the progression is getting to that point. It's just a matter of staying healthy.
That's it.
It's just being honest. Yeah, just being honest. If you can stay
saying he sucks.
healthy, play a full season, we're gonna see.
Because he played
really
well last year, right? He played, bro.
He did.
And I think Steve brought it up too, and Afakasi brought it up too. He played well when Bennett was out there, bro. He was no question the number one corner. I mean, if you look at PFF, I don't really care about that, but he was a top 10 corner when he was playing, right? But then it's always the problem until he got hurt. And now, keep in mind, if we're having a guy play like a top 10 corner and all of a sudden he's hurt, what does that do to your defense? It drastically changes it. Now, other teams know, well, this dude ain't out here, so I can go over here now. You know what I mean? And now we can start game planning and scheming a little easier because you don't have your dogs out there. So that just creates a liability.
Right, exactly. The degree of skill diminishes when you have to put in a second string, third string corner in there.
It's not the same skill. Exactly. It's not the same skill.
Top receiver. Yeah, exactly. Top receivers in the league. That's where the issue arises. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's just a matter of him really staying healthy and really keep progressing in his position.
That's it.
He has a chance. He has a chance to stay on the squad and possibly even make a run for CB1. At this point, I just want him to make the squad, and I feel like if he does, he's going to be a good addition to our secondary.
This is the.
I'm excited. Okay, go ahead.
This is my thing for you though, right? And we can say, and I know Pete does like competition. I get it, 100% get it. But there are politics involved in certain things too, right? You cannot tell me you draft a dude third round and you're not hoping that he turns into your CB1. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. There's no way you do. There's no way you draft a dude of Darian Porter's skill set, physical attributes, and you're not in the building. Somebody in there is like, yeah, I think this dude can be the guy, right? Fuck all that competition shit. I understand it. I get it. And it is there with Pete. But at the same time, there is some politics where it's like, I want JB to compete for CB1. But real talk, I want fucking Darian Porter to be that guy because I'm John Spytek. This is my first draft, and I just drafted this dude third round overall. You got him right. I want him to start and be the guy, right? That's just, and he has the measurables to do it. And I don't think it's a far out sentence to say that he has a way higher ceiling than JB does. I don't care what anybody tells me. Darian Porter has a leaps and bounds higher ceiling than Jacorian Bennett does. That's just plain facts. I mean, he's a bigger body. He's the same speed, whatever the case, right? So if we can get that, sure. I'm looking at the Cameron Richardson. That's me personally. I want him to try to turn into CB2. Him and Porter, that secondary duo would be one of the biggest, fastest in the league. And you're not just going to be able to just throw whatever receiver out there if that's the case. So I'm hoping DeCamerion Richardson ends up getting better and ends up really progressing more than anybody, to be honest.
Yeah. And I'm put this comment by my guy Jack. JB might be the best CB on the roster right now. I am gonna disagree because we don't know. And Darian Porter has really shined, bro. Like really shined. And that's saying a lot for a guy who's only been doing that position for 2 years. He was a wide receiver before, transitioned over to corner, got drafted in the third round because of the type of skills he has. And for, like Ron just said, the ceiling is very high on this guy. He might possibly be the guy who takes that CB1 spot. That's really what we're talking about here. It's a really contention for that spot, right? Yes, we are hoping for Porter to be that guy, and he most likely probably will be that guy. We just have to see kind of how it still progresses, as we go through the off season, going into preseason, obviously. But that's kind of where I feel. I wanted to just address that. We don't know yet, right? And then Eric Stokes. We never even talk about Eric Stokes, but that's another guy too.
He's the X factor too, bro. Because last year, I mean, in his career, he's had an injury-riddled career. So last year was the first year he played a full healthy season, and he was actually decent when he did. Keep in mind, bro, that man's 6'3", 2-something too. and runs a 4.3, 4.4 as well. So Eric Stokes actually is a specimen himself. We just don't talk about Eric Stokes like that. But there's some guys, bro. He's got to compete, and if JB's not playing right now, it's gonna make it hard. It's gonna make it harder.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think there's still some work to be done at the corner position. Obviously, I hope we go out and get Jalen. That would be cool. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk, but it does really boost up our defense, and I
growing pains,
a little more confident. Yeah,
we're gonna go through some growing pains, bro. It's just it's just gonna have to happen because we're so young, and inexperienced in certain spots, bro. Like it's just first couple weeks, right? Like you telling me Darian Porter got to go against Stephon Diggs his first week in the NFL? Fuck, like that's tough, bro. That shit is tough. That's not an easy task. No, I don't care about an ACL or not. That's not easy for your first game. It's just not. And then as you continue, he got to see Travis Hunter, fucking all these other guys. You feel what I'm saying? Then towards the later of the season, you got to see AJ Brown in them. So it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Yep, exactly. Let me kind of go ahead and stay on this note. Who do you guys think is on the bubble to go ahead and get cut? Obviously, we talked about, Tommy Eichenberg. There's some guys that we really haven't mentioned. We talked about Chris Smith being possibly on the bubble. I know for me, Trey Taylor might be a guy that might be on the bubble to possibly get cut. Offensively, might be possibly Zamir White might not make this roster. He might get cut. That might be a possibility. We got some receivers that we acquired, not only from the old regime, also through this offseason that might not even make this roster as well. I know, I think was it Bachman? Bachman might be on the bubble.
Right.
The guy that we just picked up from the Bears, I forgot his name. He might be on the bubble too, right? So, is there anybody that comes to mind that potentially might not might get cut this month?
Go ahead, Steve.
For me right now, just the running back position. Zeus, I don't think he'll be here. We definitely have our new rookie. He's gonna exceed over 1,500 yards, right?
That's what he says, and that's what we hope.
I like it. That's the confidence, baby. That's what we got him right.
There you go. And then we have was Rasheem Munster or
Mostert? Yeah.
Rasheem
Mostert.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely help out there. So definitely the battle of the wide receivers, and the running back. There is no battle. I already know. Zeus is not going to be here. But I think that's the strong candidate. As for the other, sorry, there's a lot of kids going on here.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
So that's why I try to stay muted as much as possible because, again, I had a flood in my house, so they're fixing some stuff. So I don't have my room right now.
You good? Thing, bro.
For me, it's Zeus, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zeus.
I agree.
I can agree with that.
You muted.
Oh shit! Right. I muted myself. My bad. The only role that I can see Zeus getting is maybe goal line back, but other than that, like he's not that big, right? So it's like and I'd rather give Genty the goal line touches, get his stats up. Fuck it. So not seeing that. Me, I'm on Thayer Mumford, bro. Thayer Mumford is a guy I think is in real jeopardy of getting cut. And the reason being, again, availability is ability. Availability is the best ability. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. There we go. So he's been injured too, right? He don't finish the season like that, and he's in and out the lineup. And right now, bro, you're regulated to just a swing tackle for him, right? Like he's not the starter no more. DJ Glaze already took that. So he's not a starter no more. You can't tell me that my swing tackle ends up getting injured and is injury prone. Motherfucker, you the guy that we bringing in for other injury people. So how are you hurt? It don't make no sense, bro. We bringing Thayer in for somebody else that got injured. He getting injured his damn self. Second reason is Charles Grant, bro. Charles Grant would be the big reason that he would get cut in seeing that yes, we want Charles Grant to take over for Colton Miller when it's time. But the best way to get him ready in the meantime is for him to be a swing tackle while he's waiting, right? So if anybody goes down, then fucking if DJ Glaze go down, you knock on wood. Hopefully you don't. But if DJ Glaze goes down, you say, okay, bro, slide in there, get some reps over there, right? If Colton goes down, slide in there, bro. Get your reps. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let's see what you do. You would want him to get as many reps as he can without starting until it's time. So I would think that's what the coaching staff is going to do. Probably hope that Charles Grant can be that swing and let him continue to develop in the background until it's time. So Thayer's for sure a guy for me that I'm worried about. I don't know. Tyree ain't gonna get cut. He's not getting cut. That's not happening.
I know you would think he would be on the bubble, but
they're not gonna.
That guy has more lives than a cat, bro. He ain't gonna go nowhere.
they not gonna cut him, bro. They waiting for the Raider scholarship to end on that one, bro. So they fuck around and recoup some money. Because with him, bro, you gotta let that 5th-year option run out. You can't. You gotta fuck around. But because nobody's gonna trade for that. Nobody. So I'm looking who else. Maybe Dylan Lowby. That'd be another one. Or I'm looking out. Maybe Dylan Lowby gets cut because we got some other guys that can return as well. So his role is looking diminished. Trey Tucker can return. Tommy Malott can return. So maybe not for Lowby. He might be out of here. Who else, bro? Out the top of my head is pretty much it because y'all said a lot. There's nobody that I'm super confident that's going to get cut right now, though. I got to wait till training camp. See who's getting more reps than who. Then I can be like, all right, bro, yeah, like it's getting bad. But I think somebody in that linebacker room is going to get the axe too. It's going to happen. Somebody in that linebacker room is going to get the axe.
Yeah. I think Trey Taylor might be a guy that's on the bubble for sure. Zeus is definitely on the bubble. I don't think he don't make the final cut for sure. If he doesn't get cut in June, he might get cut. He's not making the 53 for sure.
Right.
He's not making the 53.
Although, man, Thayer Mumford got that sweet feet, man. He go out there wide receiver. You feel? we still got more of a mismatch. So maybe.
Yeah. Who knows? Who else? I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, maybe Bachman doesn't make the cut. That guy that we went out and got, Colin Johnson. He's a tall receiver, but the guy's still in the bubble, especially when we went out and got, touchdown Tommy, and he's really progressing too. That's another guy that's had a really good OTA and rookie mini camp. He's doing his thing. So there might be some of the more depth guys that might be on the bubble that might get cut this month, possibly. So obviously we'll wait and see, but as of right now, I think that's it for sure. Zeus, I don't see Zeus in the silver black past August for sure. It's his vision. We saw what he was. He had a really good season the prior, the last 4 or 5 games that he played in 2023. But last season we just saw really what he really was. He has no vision, and that's a big problem. That's a big problem in this league. So they can't really design an offense too much around that. If you don't have the vision, it ain't gonna happen. Especially now that we went out and got Genty. No way.
And Mostert. I mean, a lot of people forget about Mostert. I mean, I know we'll take comments.
Good too.
We'll take comments at the end. You saw the chat, Jay. You already saw what's going on. So look at the little private one. But yeah, bro, I agree. It's Zeus is definitely time maybe ticking for him. A lot of guys in the receiver room too. If Christian Wilkerson is still on the team, bro, there's only a matter of time for that gets cut. You know what I mean? So there's that. Yeah. But a couple guys, man, that are on the bubble that I definitely think need to have a good training camp this year, or it's over.
Yeah. But let me go ahead and switch gears really quick. Talk about this really quick. Tom Telesco interview. So Tom Telesco was on a podcast the other day, 33rd team. He did, and he got asked questions about the draft last year. right? And so he has his. We finally get to see what his kind of mind process was during that time. So I want to go ahead and play a clip of it. Let me go ahead and share it with everyone real quick, and we'll talk about it really quick.
Last year, 2024, one of the wildest drafts, especially at the top. You are the general manager of the Raiders, picking at 13 with a quarterback need, and then 6 quarterbacks go in the top 12. There were a lot. So let's ask about the rumors again. There were rumors that Michael Penix Jr. may have been the pick had he been there, but the Falcons make the pick at 8. So first off, would Michael Penix Jr. have been the pick had he been on the clock at pick 13 for the Raiders?
Did a lot of work, talked a lot about it. But in the end, probably not. Probably not. Now looking back, if I knew that I only had 1 year there, maybe that would have been different. I don't know. But
wait, would it have been a different quarterback? Would it have been J.J. McCarthy or Bo Nix? Was there a quarterback that you would have taken
so that would
at
have
13?
been, so that's a little bit different. I get in there. Let me just big picture wise. We're building this for the future, and thinking I'm going to be there at least for a little while. The head coach will be there for a little while. Our infrastructure wasn't where it needed to be yet, so we had some concerns. We take a quarterback this early and we have nothing around him. It could be a disaster. So the thought was we need to build the talent level of this team on both sides of the ball. So because we had taught like Jaden Daniels, that one would have been easy, and that's an easy one. But then when we got into the J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix, as far as trading up for those guys, that I was not as much into trying to trade up for one of those quarterbacks to give up that many assets, because we're going to have to give up a lot of draft picks. We need as many as possible to build up the team. So that would have been a hard move to make, to trade up for one of those quarterbacks, knowing where our talent level was then, and then how we're going to get it better, because we're going to give up so many picks for that. So to me, that was, other than Jaden Daniels, that was going to be a non-starter. Now, if they were there, again, with Michael Penix, and I've been wrong plenty of times, which I've been told. But he had some injury issues in college, just with some durability, and that's taking a quarterback that high, that has to be a concern. Hope at this point, he hasn't had an issue, but he hasn't played a lot yet. But everything's healed up, and hopefully it's good to go. But that was a bit of a concern. Bo Nix, a little bit, his background of work, his durability, his movement skills, that one was interesting. And he's gone to the perfect team. That would have been a good possibility.
All right.
Hey, man, half of me is very, very, very happy this motherfucker is not here no more.
Yeah.
Very happy he's not here no more, dog. Now, yes, I'm glad he got his Brock Bowers. But to say that Michael Penix would not have been the pick if he was there is asinine to me. Why? And lets me know his ass probably would have picked Bo Nix if he could.
Yeah.
Sad, bro. Sad. And then I remember the year prior, bro, we came out here, it was like, nah, Tom Telesco ain't really doing his fucking job that well. And people were like, but he got us Brock Bowers. I could have, Baby Rundown could have picked Brock Bowers last year out the lineup. My 4-month-old could have sat there and did this with Brock Bowers and knew that was a good pick, bro. Stop it. No way, bro. I just think he wasn't looking at that quarterback position like he should have. That's probably what it was, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, he got us Brock Bowers, JPJ, DJ Glaze. He did great in the draft, but unsuccessful for acquiring a starting quarterback for us. That was a big key right there. And right now we're just having a lot of turnaround with the general managers, head coaches, all that. And we were all hyped up for AP. Even I was hyped up for AP. Bringing back the West Coast mentality and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't delivered out on the field and everything like that. And part of that was because we weren't able to acquire that bonus. And that's what's going on. We need the quarterback, and hopefully, Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, it turns things around.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I think as far as Tom, yeah, you're right, bro. He got us Brock Bowers. He got us JPJ Glaze. Those guys worked out really well. But outside of those three guys, nothing. We haven't seen what Trey Taylor has done because he hasn't been healthy. He was literally injured all of last year. I forgot who we got in the other rounds. And so did everybody else, because I don't know if anybody can name without really looking up who we drafted aside from those three guys, right? And Trey Taylor. That's it. So the quarterback position was a position of need. You have to address that. You cannot not address that. That's their focal point of your offense. And we saw what it looked like not having, a top 15 type quarterback. He went out and got us Gardner Minshew, a backup. That to him shows the level of priority he had for the offense. I don't know if it was miscommunication between or just differences of opinions between him and AP. AP was really high on Jaden Daniels for sure, far none. For everybody who remembers, he was high on Jaden Daniels, and everybody was, let's go get Jaden Daniels. But the priority level is just his mindset. This is who Tom Telesco is. Tom Telesco is Bon Tom. He does not make moves like that. And this is why we see a way better draft this year with a rookie GM, John Spivak, but a guy who is willing to be aggressive up and down the board. So we saw that happen, right? And we got literally like 2-3 more draft picks on top of what we originally had, alongside with a guy like Pete Carroll, who's like, hey, we need to move up and down that board. This is the guys that we need to go ahead and try to get. And it's just night and day is what it is. But we got to see really what the mindset of Tom Telesco was at the time. His mindset was not a quarterback at all. And there was another clip, I didn't play it, but he's just trying to justify that we need to have the proper pieces to be able to go out and get a quarterback, which we did. Yeah, we did. We had Devontae Adams, basically one of the top wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, what is he saying?
Yeah, so he decided also, to piggyback off the previous regime and not bring back Josh Jacobs. He didn't want to pay the man. We could have had Josh Jacobs still here. It was him. Yeah. Yep. So I know that's why I put some of the posts that glad he's gone, glad we're divorced from him.
Because everybody was saying AP. Everybody like, it's AP, it's AP, it's AP. Him too. Yep. It's a little bit of Tom too, bro. He just try to make everybody like, don't look at me. Like, no, mother, it's you. It's you.
It's you for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and kind of put that out there because I know it literally came up this week where he did that interview on that podcast. So definitely a segment we wanted to go ahead and kind of bring up and talk about. But let's go ahead and move into our final segment, the spotlight. This is a time where we get to go ahead and meet our guests. So obviously this week's guest is none other than Steve, the Power Raider. And just we're gonna go ahead and kind of get to know the man, since behind
the Ranger mask, man.
Behind the
Ranger mask.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's so secretive. It's so secretive that he didn't even recognize me at the summer kickoff.
You see what I'm saying? Jay didn't even know he was there, bro.
Bro, I didn't even see him. You know what? There was people that were there that said they were there, and then I'm like, why don't you come up and say hi to me?
That's because some of them wasn't in their shit, bro. I mean, Steve wasn't in his Power Ranger outfit. I don't know if Gorilla was in his shit. I mean, everybody was gone, bro.
Yeah, I didn't see Gorilla either, bro. I don't think he was there, but yeah, man.
They ain't wearing their stuff, man. They ain't wearing
their stuff. It is exactly, bro. But now I'm gonna see him on week 2, bro, for sure. But tell us, Steve. Let's start off first. How did you become a Raider fan? Was there like a certain moment or event that kind of made that happen?
Growing up in South Central LA, that's all you saw, man. The Raiders, and my family grew up watching it, and that's all it was. That was the only team. And coming from humble roots, bro, I lived out, my family, they were on welfare and everything, and we would shop around at Goodwill and everything. And there was this one point where my mom bought us all starter jackets, all of us, bro. And yeah, I mean, Miami, Jaguars, and all these other ones. And then my mom gave me a starter jacket for the Cowboys. I'm like, what the hell? Are you serious? You know what? But you know what? I was like 5 or 6, and I never wore it though. But what's it called? It was there, and I thought it was cool because I was a football thing, and you coming from humble roots. I was like, man, this is an expensive jacket. Granted, now I know my mom got it a good one and everything, but you know what? From there, one of my brothers made a comment. I'm like, I'm not gonna wear this shit, because they would call me cowgirls or whatever. And I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I never wore it. And so everything I wore was my Raider stuff, and we'll get stuff from the swap meet. There was all Raiders and freaking Looney Tune stuff and everything like that. And
bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, bro. I grew up like that, but humble. You give me playlists, I was happy. British Knights, LA Lights. I was all about just being out there representing for my humble roots. And South Central LA, everything was all Raiders, bro. Everything's Raiders. We had no team out there, so everybody rep the Raiders. And so growing up, fast forwarding to now, going to high school, played football, defensive end. Then I tried out for East Los Angeles College, and I freaking broke my thumb and ripped my ligament. I have surgery in my hand. And I just got out. It was like, all right, you know what, this baby's not for me because I'm 5'9.5", I would say, kind of like that. And so I gotta give it a little centimeters.
Yeah. You gotta put some more on there.
You go
every
there
inch
and
counts,
you line
bro.
up. You line up there. You line up there in the freaking line, and you see these big guys over 6 feet. I'm like, holy cow, these guys are gonna kill me. And I'm like,
this shit ain't for me.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't work. No, I'll be back here. And so I'm like, all right, stick around. And with my peers that went, actually, I got a buddy that went for LSU, and but he then went to the Marines. But long story short, that's how I became a Raider fan and started going to the games since 2015. One of my good friends, Rick Silos. I was a teller back in the days in U.S. Bank, and I was taking care of a lot of business accounts, customers. I was in charge of the business accounts. And one time he saw my Raider paint on my suit, and he said, "Are you a Raider fan?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Have you ever gone to a game?" It was 2015, bro. And I'm like, "Nah, man, I never been to a game. One of these days I'm gonna go." Again, like I said, I came from humble grounds and everything. And so he invited me to the first game, and I still remember that day. We won the game, and he told me, "I invite you to every game, and you don't have to pay me a ticket for the game if we win." There was I went to so many games.
Had to come out a lot of bread, huh?
Oh no.
Had to give him a lot of bread.
He gave me the preseason tickets, but a lot of the games during the season I went with him, and we won a lot of the games. Some of them,
you had it on your side, bro.
I was a lucky charm. I would go maybe like 3 games a season, and I'll go to the preseason games too. But long story short, we lost the game with the Dallas Cowboys, but he didn't charge me that ticket game because they cheated because they did the freaking
postcard shit.
And so he's all like, "I ain't gonna charge you that." But one of the things that I have is a great relationship with a lot of the alumni. I mean, if I go down my freaking phone book, I probably have maybe 70 alumni phone numbers. I mean, you're talking about Tom Flores, Lester Hayes, Greg Townsend. I mean, I got freaking Fred Belintikov. I have a lot of Hall of Famers, everybody on my phone, and just because the Rick Silos owns seats in the club seat area in Oakland, and so I was hanging out with all the alumni players all the time, and with that said, I would buy them drinks. They'll buy my drinks. We'll just talk shit about football and everything. And this is before Power Raider was even involved. I actually had a foam helmet and I put on my commitment to excellence flag as a freaking cape. And I would always go to all the games like that. I have some pictures like that. I should start posting them up, But a lot of pictures, and that flag is the one I carry with me. When I'm set up as Power Rater, I always hold it up. Says commitment to excellence. There's, I would say, over 150, 160 signatures on that flag of just different alumni players. This Raider always a player, always a Raider, and I always have them sign my flags. And when the Raiders announced that they were moving to Las Vegas, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. At that point, this was 2018 when they announced it, and I was like around 324 pounds. I was big. I was a big guy. I'm still, a little chubby. It's all good.
Hey, man, talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff, man. Talk your stuff.
Yeah, and so yeah, man, I got on the weight loss track and just did it all naturally. Going to the gym, eating right, and I dropped down to 232 pounds. Almost, it was big time. It was a big life changer because I started having heart issues, and so I'm like, oh shit, I got to get in shape and everything. But part of my motivation also was because one of the great Raider super fan, his name is Raider Jerry, and he's also on the Visa Hall of Fame. He's with PFUFA, Pro Football Fan Association. So I forget the acronym, but anyways, I told him, hey, I want to be a super fan. I love what the fans do for you. I'm already involved with so many charity works. I do a lot of community involvement. What can I do? And he's like, well, you know what? First thing is you always want to wear your colors all the time, and you always want to show up to the games, win, lose, or tie. We're always going to be there. Don't leave the stands, and be a great fan and have a great sportsmanship mentality. Because there's some people that just hate on people, want to start fights, the knuckleheads and all that. You be the advocator. Of having good sportsmanship and have the camaraderie within fans. I always say, hate the team, not the fans. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna be enemies for the next 3 hours. But outside the stadium, we're gonna be all cool, pop a beer, have some lunch together, and still shit talk, but it's all good, so I decided to become Power Raider, and that's because I grew up watching Power Rangers and Raiders football.
Same,
And
bro.
so I grew up watching Power Rangers, Raiders football, and when I was deciding what I wanted to be, as a super fan, I wanted something that would embrace kids because I'm about unity, about bringing kids together and everything. And I was like, if I decide to, be a scary character, am I gonna scare the babies, scare the kids, and everything? Because I wanted to be that guy, for Lord of the Rings, Sauron. I wanted to be like that. Cool. That'd
be hard though.
Yeah, with a heavy suit with everything. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just, embrace my childhood, what the kids like when I grew up and everything. I'm like, I'm not gonna be a Pokemon. Hell no. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and be a Power Ranger. And it's funny because Power Rangers, I follow them too. I have a lot of memorabilia from them. I've known a lot of them, personally. Even the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, Jason David Frank, good friend. And so I got invited to the Netflix 30th anniversary in Hollywood, and so I was hanging out with all the cast members, everything. And Walter was even like, "Man, your suit is amazing." Walter's Zach, the Black Ranger, and I believe he's a Steelers fan, and he's like, "I don't know about those colors, but it looks pretty sick, And Tommy, Jason David Frank, debuted my whole outfit on their TikTok and everything. And
oh, nice.
I debuted in 2020. And the game when we played against the Chiefs, it was a close game. I think it was like 31-34, 31-35. We lost that game. It was we were at a watch party at Tommy Rockers here in Las Vegas because it was the first year where there was no fans in the stand. But no matter what, just like Raider Jerry said, you always show up your colors. You show up no matter what. And now I never thought that I was gonna be in these podcasts or what's it called, being a role model for a lot of kids or the upcoming super fans, because all I basically say, just show up to the games. If you're suited up and you're there for the crowd and everything, like my motto is I don't drink when I'm suited up, unless I know it's like a 21 and over event, cool. But the last thing I want to be is I want to be that drunk Santa Claus with little kids around me. I don't want to be that.
Real talk. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
And so I appreciate everybody in the tailgating. Everybody wants to offer me shots, drinks, beers, and everything like that. But when I'm suited on, I'm in my game phase mode. I'll take Gatorade, I'll take water, everything, But as alcohol, I'm interacting with kids and everything like that. It's kind of difficult for me, so I want to make sure I stay away from that, just because, there's kids looking up to us. And, you're the role model, and perception is a big time. When did you see a Power Ranger holding a beer? Never, right? So you want to just, keep it like that. You want to be a real super fan, mentor those that are coming out. And I invite everybody, if you want to show your spirit, you want to suit up and everything like that, you're welcome. Join us. We need more of those fans that are diehard, because there's diehard fans that just wear jerseys, which is totally fine. But there's some that just want to just go a little extra, like myself, and it's always great to invite those, because I know there's some super fans out there that for some reason they have a pick or they have a hate on new fans. Oh, look at these fans, everything. I'm like, nah. At the end of the day, we're the same. We're the same colors. But we rep the same team. We're not going to jump to a different team. We're just embrace everybody, and that's what we need. We just got to have that unification here in Las Vegas, because we're at a disadvantage that this is a tourist attraction, and so we're going to have that uphill battle. But you know what? This year is going to change. This year we have an amazing offense, like we all just talked about during the show, and we expect big things. And so we're going to start winning, definitely. Well, my take, I think we're going to win, maybe over 8 games this season, and we're definitely going to just have a big turnaround. I know it's going to be a big outcome in the Cowboys game this year. Those are the hot selling tickets. And
here now, I already know what time it is, bro. Make sure there ain't no brawls down there.
Hey, you know what time is it, right? It's time, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. Well, I appreciate you guys having me in your show. Definitely, if you guys want to get to know me more, follow me. My Instagram, my handles is at Go Power Raider. Everything's Go Power Raider. From Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, MySpace. No, I'm just kidding, not MySpace. But yeah, everything.
I know, rocking the old MySpace, bro. I still have MySpace somewhere out there. I don't know.
Hey, it's funny because I go back to my MySpace and I still have my freaking my Raiders background, and I have all my freaking. I think I had Usher, some freaking song. I don't know. It's old school, but everything is all like, damn, that's me right there. And my pictures are still there and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. But a lot of people, some people know, but I DJ'd for 16 years, bro. And so with that said, I'm really cool with a lot of the scam artist DJs, in the industry and all that. And so, hey, you guys remember Daft Punk, where they'll be suited up and they have helmets and everything?
Yeah,
hey, I'm just saying, Power Rangers gonna come out, bro.
There we go. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I love to, fellowship with everybody. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna have a lot of barbecues here in my house. You guys are all welcome. Season's gonna be great. And now that I'm more acclimated here in Las Vegas, I'm excited, to embrace the new fans and embrace all the veterans that come back. It's gonna be an improved season. Definitely, we're gonna have a big improvement, and I'm excited for what the team has to offer this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fire, man. Hey, man. I love hearing that, bro. I definitely love hearing what you said about the drinking and stuff too, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we Raider Nation, bro. So we already know what time it is, right? Everybody gonna take their drinks. Everybody gonna smoke. They smoke, right? We already know.
Yeah.
But I do like what you said with that, bro. Because there are certain times like I don't think that most of the fans really think about the younger fans like that. Because real talk. And I was coming into the podcast game. I'm like, dog, it's a lot of older Raider fans, right? It's like there's not a lot of people that's my age or even younger than me that I look at and see that are like just active Raider fans. Maybe because we're not winning like that, but whatever the case, right? Like, but it's always good to hear somebody always take that into account too, man. Because I always say we kind of forget about adding new fans, right? Like younger fans. Like it's cool and dandy that we got all the fans that seen us win in the 80s and all that extra. That's fine. But it's always about how we move it forward. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. When I'm done podcasting, Jay done podcasting, Steve done doing Power Raider. what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like it's always got to be some next. So I definitely love hearing that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have do you want to ask the last question?
So I know you're not all that way into the content game, but you're into the super fan game. So could you kind of maybe give us maybe backstage or look into how a super fan's life might be going to a game, you know what I mean, or meeting fans or something like that? Because for in the content game, us podcast, we gotta do it different. You know what I mean? We try to meet fans, we gotta try to make a whole ass event and do all that extra. But I mean, where y'all and the super fans, bro, like y'all can kind of set something up a little easier. So I mean, how is it meeting fans and you know what I mean, getting interaction with everybody, being a super fan?
Well, definitely, man. Like, there's different content creators out there, guys. There's content creators that are analytical, just like you guys. You guys know your game. You guys know everything. I mean, you guys probably know way more than I do, But the way I embrace my team is just showing up to the games, cheering up the crowds, pumping up the crowds, embracing the youth, and like I said, always be the last one leaving there. And the way my day-to-day life is I suit up in the morning. Yeah, I actually fast the whole game. I don't eat at all during the whole game at all. I'll probably take drinks here left and right, all because I have a one-piece suit. It's super hard to even go to the restroom or anything like that. It's difficult, bro. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm there for the kids, the fans, and this will be my 4th year in a row where I give away Power Rangers during the Christmas season. I always give Power Ranger toys to the little kids all the time. I always give it back. A lot of people that do a lot of community events, they always reach out to us. As a super fan, they always want to go first to the super fans to see if they're willing to come out and show love to the fans, because those are the people that the camera highlights all the time, in the football games and everything. And so, like, that's the Raider mascot. Some people say I'm the Raider mascot. I'm not the Raider mascot. Our Raider mascot is Raider Rusher. But you know what? The fact is that they see us more on TV than the actual mascot for the Raiders.
Right.
And so, with that said, you know what I said? I said earlier, if the perception is there, and you don't want to be drinking, you don't want to act like a fool, you don't want to start fights, you want to have the good camaraderie, and definitely, have something in there for the fans. Like, see, when I sit down at the games, I watch the first and the second quarter. During halftime, I rush to the halftime stage and everything. That's because a lot of kids, and I tell people, hey, if you want to meet me, because they didn't meet me at the lot, at the J lot, or anywhere outside during tailgating, meet me at the Torch during halftime. You'll be able to take a picture with your kids and everything. And bro, I think like I order maybe year to date, I probably have over 12,000 patches I printed out. And maybe 5% of those I sell, and the rest I give away for free. And I probably have over maybe 20,000 stickers, and I'm not exaggerating. I can show receipts and everything. I'm like, I give away stickers like glory to everybody, bro, and to all the kids and everything. And it's just the interaction of the fans is priceless, especially for little kids that are like 6, 7 years old going to the game. They don't know what the hell they're watching, but they get a sticker, they get a patch. Oh shit, this is cool,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
You plant the seed, you plant the Raider seed there. You know what? That's the love I want. You know what? That's the family love. And you know what? The way I see it, everybody's here is brothers and sisters. In Raider Nation, this is our church coming Sunday. This is our church where we go, instead we skip our church and we go to the That's our fellowship and everything. They take care of each other. You know what? Let's not forget about the kids, because the more we keep planting the seeds, the bigger our audience is going to be in the long run, in the home games. And that disadvantage that we have right now, there's not going to be disadvantage. If we keep embracing the new fans, giving the high five to the little kids that are super fans. There's a lot of little kids super fans that suit up. I always put them in the front, put them in the front for the pictures and everything like that. Just give them a high five. Hey, thanks for coming. This is so cool. just give them that wow factor that, hey, man, you know what, I'm repping my team, like the way I see Wonder Raider, I see all these, all the little super fans that suit up. I'm like, this is really super cool just to see that, and the parents get very involved with it, and the parents like to see that, oh, can I take a picture with your kid and everything like that, and that's what I see too, when I'm walking on the tailgate, you know what, and I'm going to let everybody know here, if you're screaming my name and I can't hear you, please tap on my shoulder because I have a helmet and sometimes I can't hear you. So don't think I'm ignoring you. Tap on my shoulder.
The games too.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to take pictures with everybody. So I will never say no to anybody for a picture. And if you felt that I ignored you, I do apologize. I do have a helmet. I can't hear you if you're screaming. And my helmet was a mashup of just Power Rangers and Raiders football. And if you see it, it looks like an actual football helmet mashed up, pretty cool.
Pretty dope.
But yeah, man, that's my day to day. And so during half times, I get to see everybody at the torch. Then go back on my seats, third, fourth quarter, and a lot of the times the next day I start watching the game. I rewatch the game because I miss so many things because people, either meet me at my seat. And they're like, oh, can we take a picture, sure? And the security guards, they all know me there. The people that take care of crowd control and everything like that, they know people are going to come down, to come and take a picture with us. And we're more than welcome to. They like that. They like the just that fan love that we have, that Raider Nation love. And with that said, I have that giver's mentality where, giver's game mentality. You give so much to the community out there, and the Raiders see that, guys. The Raiders have their own exclusive team that watches your Instagram, watches your Facebook, and trust me, I've seen it. Where they're seeing what content creators are talking shit about Mark Davis, and they see all that.
Yeah.
I see the people that I hang around with and everything, and they'll say, hey, tell them to tone it down here, whatever. We understand people are passionate, but they could transcript that message as hating the team. And so I've come across that and everything because I hang around with a lot of intelligent people that know Raiders football big time, which helps me out understanding more, on the off season, because I don't study as much as you guys do, but I do get by with it. I've been challenged before and everything like that, and I still have my Raider card. There's some people, that
your Raider card is like more than good, bro, for sure.
Chris.
Definitely, you give back to the community. The Raiders see that, and they invite you to like the Ticketmaster commercial we did, or they invite you to the State of the Team, which I'm invited this year. So I'm going to be hanging out with the GM and with our head coach. I'm getting invited to the freaking training camp, and I have regular seats, and to have these things as an invitation, that's cool because only the club seat owners actually get these invites. So if you spend like over $50,000 on your PSL for one seat as a club seat owner, they're gonna give you freaking these these amenities. I'm a regular seat guy. I have a regular seat. But I bought my seats in the secondary market. I bought 3 seats for 43,000, about 44,000. And so of course the people made a killing whoever sold it to me, but it's okay. But I wanted to make sure to plant my flag in the stadium. This is me. I own my seats. And, I was one of the first bricks to be out there in the Legion Stadium. So my brick is right in front of the Raider image below the shield. It's right there. So Power Raider established in 2020. Trivia family, that's my last name. And so definitely, if you have that giver's mentality, guys, what the universe will tenfold it. Think about everybody. If you're not going to go to a Raider game, consider inviting a Raider fan that hasn't been able to go to, because I got that invitation in 2015, and look at where I'm at now. I'm embracing it, paying it forward. In the first 2 years of the season, when they moved here to Las Vegas, I had a nonprofit. We'll help out foster kids come over here to the Raider games, and I think all in all, we did maybe about like 38, 37 foster kids that went to the games. And then after that, Raider Dad came out and everything like that, and I totally support him. I just don't have time to do a lot of stuff, Being a Raider fan is so busy, and then my day-to-day work and family and kids and everything, and I love it, and I appreciate both of you guys for having me on your show.
Of course,
Yeah,
brother.
of course, bro. I mean, I heard you with my guy Cheeto, so of course I had to go ahead and tap in with you for sure, man. You know, any family with my guy Leo's family for me for sure. I do definitely want to give that shout out, bro, because he's not lying, bro. When I watch a game, even before I've done this interview with you or gotten to speak a little bit with Violator a little bit, but I see you, Violator, Gorilla. I don't even like if you're somebody else. I don't even know the Raiders got a mascot for real. For real. I'm gonna be honest with you because all I see is y'all three or somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody else. Where it's like those is my only images in my head when I think about the Raiders and if you talk mascot or whatever the case. You know what I mean? Like it's like y'all kind of represent that a little bit. So definitely, man, shout out to y'all, bro. But y'all do things that me personally I never do. Right? I can't. I'm not that. Right, sociable where I'm going out and I'm meeting everybody, taking pictures with everybody, doing all that. But see, this is why it's great that there's different types of content creators, different type of Raider fans, right? Like y'all are needed. You know what I mean? Super fans are needed in the stadium to get everybody, like you said, get them hyped, get all the future fans ready to be Raider fans. You know what I mean? That's bro. What you do is super important, bro. And I just want to give a shout out, give love to all y'all super fans, bro, because y'all be doing y'all thing, bro. So continue to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, I'm glad that you're looking out for the youth, for the kids. You know, growing up, Raider fans. Me and Ren are already doing it, bro. We're already doing it. We have our kids already.
You feel what I'm saying? Early.
My girl's asleep still, but she'll be out here be Raiders. The girl
will
not shut up about Raiders.
Sir.
If she sees my cup, Raiders. She sees the flag back here, Raiders. Anything Raiders, she's like Raiders. You know, I scold her. She's like Raiders because she knows she butters me up with that. You know, so it's good looking. Especially I'm gonna be taking on my family in that preseason game in Phoenix. So I'm gonna be out there with them. That'll be the first game with the whole family there. Great opportunity. Yeah, we up in the bleeds, but I think that's a good opportunity to kind of introduce. Shout out to my guy 805 with the idea because he's like, I take my family, I take my kids to the preseason games because that's where you can expose them to that. It's not a big game. You don't have to really pay attention through and through.
Yeah, it's too intense in the regular season game.
It's too intense in the regular season, but you know, preseason is a little bit more lax. So, you know, for sure. But you said that you're gonna be out at training camp. What other things should everybody look out for from Power Raider? Just so everybody knows also too, I have your link to your IG page pinned down in the description, so you guys can go ahead and give them a follow on Instagram. But what else do you have going on that everybody should kind of look out for?
So definitely, so tomorrow, one of the reasons Josh is here is we have the Brock Bowers camp here in Las Vegas. That's gonna be good, you know. So you guys, I believe there's still tickets available online to go and check out if you're here local in Las Vegas. So we have that going on. We have training camp coming on. We have the state of the team that it always happens during August, where we already solidify our team, more or less who's going to be in the 53-man roster, general manager and head coach, the ideas, the vision of where the Raiders going, and again the president's there, Mark Davis is there. It's huge, like key executive for the Raiders, and just VIP of the VIP get invited only there. And so I was invited there 2 years ago, and I made those chains. I did one for Ziegler, and I did one for Josh McDaniels. So I'm sure you guys have seen those chains I give out to. I gave some to Mark Davis. He loved it because I made him 2 of them. I made a black one. I also made a white one for him since he likes to wear a lot of white. So I already have some ready for the team. I also gifted out to our production team, the camera people. They're all gonna get one. The people behind the scenes that do all the video and everything. It was like maybe 14 chains last season. Shout out to Marcus and our Sibley Skulls that host the Talk the Nation. They all got chains. And the year before that, all the premium sales managers. And it's just custom name chains, Raider shields with their names. And that's one thing I always do. I gift it for them. And they're like, well, how much you want for them? I'm like, dude, it's for you guys, for what you guys do for the fans and everything. And that's one thing that I always give it at, because a lot of people say, well, how much you sell these? I don't sell them. I order them. I pay for them. I give them out, as gifts, a token of appreciation. So we have the state of the team. We have the Valentikov Craft Fest. That one is going to happen, I think, during the alumni weekend. So I'm not sure yet. They're still determining what's going to happen. And if you guys don't know, Fred Valentikov, Super Bowl MVP, wide receiver. He has a foundation where they give back to the athlete risk that are under, they need help with substance control, or they're in the domestic violence. There's homes out here in Las Vegas, and Fred and Angela Valentikov, they give back to this community. So I always support their charity events every year. So when you see me with my suits and tie and everything, it's because I go to these events. And then there's so many other events. You have the Ted Hendricks bowling event coming up also. You have the home opener, which is going to be crazy because it's Monday Night Football. It's just going to be an intense weekend. Parties are going to start from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going to be an experience you don't want to miss, guys. So make sure you're here starting Thursday. You don't want to come here on Friday. It's going to be too much crazy, too much traffic and everything, especially because, this team is turning around big time. You don't want to miss this opportunity, guys. So I know the Raider Crusaders have an event going on. The Black Hole has an event going on, and now they're gonna cater to different audience. They have the new school with the high candy, and then they have the old school people that kind of like the Fremont. So they're gonna have the Golden Nugget. They're gonna have events over there too, because some people like the old school Las Vegas and stuff like that. So it is still hosted by the Black Hole. So some people say, "Oh, we're gonna have to be split up." I'm like, "Nah, it's just catering to two different people." Some people just like the old school, and then and so it's gonna be a lot of events coming up. We have the event going on for the school. That shout out to Raider Friday organized all this, and we have all TMBC, which is the booster club I belong to, the Nation Booster Club here in Las Vegas. We collab with Raider Friday to just empower leadership, empower don't be a bully and everything to schools, and we have different alumni players speak to the kids, and the kids get T-shirts. Shout out to the Pink Box for supporting us, with the donuts for the kids and all that. Shout out to all the super fans that just come out here and embrace. You're talking about Gorilla Rilla, the Violator, Hollywood Raider. My hat's off to Mark Jones for turning around the Black Hole big time. Also Javier from the League of Bandits, who helps out a lot in the Black Hole and getting all the player signings and all that. And definitely so many events. We have the Trunk or Treat. Just if you follow my Instagram handles or you follow any of my things, you'll see everything that's coming up. And with that said, just follow me and you'll see everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Fire, bro. Fire, bro. I love everything you got going on. It's busy, man. It's gonna be busy for you. Busy schedule.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and give Steve a follow. I have the link again pinned up down below in the description of both channels. And obviously go ahead and catch them at your Vegas hometown Raider. I don't know if you travel a lot, but I know you travel here and there for the away games, but for sure you're there at almost every home game, if not all the home games, for sure. So I'll be there week 2. I don't think I'll be there that early. Unfortunately, I got
What's the Bears game? I think I'm there week 3. Whatever the Bears game at, that's where I'm at.
He's gonna be there. Yeah, he's gonna be there for that 3? Bears game. I'll be there for the home opener. It's gonna be fire. I'll probably be there on that Sunday.
I'm trying to do the home opener, bro. I'm trying. I low-key want to do it with the wife, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got the okay. Sorry, I got the tickets. It's a lock. It's now it's getting my ass over there for sure. But hey, man, I want to go ahead and thank Steve, Power Raider, for joining us this Saturday morning. Appreciate you pulling up. I know you're a busy guy. You have a lot going on. So thank you for taking the time out of your day to go ahead and hang out and talk some Raider ball with us for sure, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah, bro. It was great to meet you, brother, man. Thank you for pulling up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I like your banner picture in the bottom. Both of you guys have your peace sign. Is it a peace sign or a victory sign for the season?
I hope it's a victory. Let's just say it's a victory, bro. Let's hope that.
Yeah. We just throw the V for victory, bro. That's what we're gonna call it for sure. Yeah, brother. But we're gonna link up for sure. We're gonna link up when I'm down there for sure on that week too, man. But other than that, I want to thank everybody who pulled up and joined us today. Make sure again you go ahead and catch us next Saturday for another installment of Good Morning Raiders at 10 a.m. Pacific here on YouTube on both channels. If you are new, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's totally free. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Click those thumbs. It does really help to go ahead and grow the shows and grow the channel for sure. And if you really want to go ahead and really support the shows, make sure you guys go ahead and become a member. I got my link pinned up in the chat. So make sure you guys go ahead and become a member today. I'm going to be doing a raffle for all the members on my shirts. Got this one. I got the Raider Nation one. Yeah. Once we hit 10 members, we're at 6. We're going to be doing a raffle. And everybody who's a member who's going to be participating in that, totally free to you guys. So make sure you guys go ahead and become a member today for sure. But
make sure you guys join us. Like Jay saying. Hitting all the buttons.
Hit them buttons, hit the notifications too. As once news goes on, we go on as well. You don't want to be left out in the dark. But join us next week as we have another guest for you guys. A guy who was here in the chat earlier, our guy, Afakasi Raider, will be our guest next week. So make sure you guys pull up all the way from Perth, Australia, repping Raiders internationally. He's going to be our guest for next week.
And real quick, man, we appreciate everybody in here, man. You can be watching anything on a Saturday morning, but you're tapping in with you guys, man. So appreciate y'all as always. I already know, man. You know what I say. Don't hit the subscribe if you ain't feeling what you're hearing. But if you're feeling what you're hearing, tap in with you guys. Till then, man, like my guy Jay said, we're going to see y'all next week, of course, man. And big thanks to Power Raider, of course.
For sure. All right, y'all.
Thank you, guys.
Peace out. Remember, just Raiders, baby. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Raiders.
Oh, I gotta
hit him with it.
Raiders.
Shout out to our guy James. He was on. There you go.
There we go. Oh.
Yeah. All right, yeah. We'll see y'all next time. Yeah. What up, low? What is good? What is none other than our guy,